You will also need some different sources of heat. If you're just heating hot water, an electric kettle is really convenient because you can just plug it in with the water in there and let it heat up. So this is great for heating up some water if you need hot water for a demonstration or for student activities. An alcohol burner is great for student demonstrations. And again, there are many different kinds of alcohol burners available. This is just a 60 ml glass alcohol burner. I don't recommend that you fill it all the way up. Just put a little bit of alcohol in there in case the students happen to drop it. The glass, of course, is fragile and can break, and you don't want to have a big spill of the alcohol. It's a good idea to add a small amount of sodium chloride to the alcohol. That makes the flame burn with a yellow flame. Pure alcohol burns with an almost colorless flame, and because it's almost colorless, it can lead to students not seeing that the alcohol burner is on, and they may burn themselves. So an alcohol burner, it uses methyl hydrate as a fuel. Methyl hydrate is available in paint stores and hardware stores. It's often used as a solvent for shellac. Another source of heat for elementary schools could be the canned heat, as we often call it. This is actually a gel of alcohol. We can light one of these, and you'll notice that it gives an almost invisible flame. And that's one of the drawbacks from using this particular type of heater. You can barely see the color, and so the students would have to be very careful in terms of using this source of heat. So this is a large size which has a burning time of about 2 hours. The canned fuel also comes in smaller canisters, each having a burn time of about 1 hour. So here's one of the small ones, and we can just light that again. And also again, note how almost invisible the flame is. Now we can make the flame more visible by adding some salt to the gel, as we did for the methanol. However, the salt has a tendency to break down the gel, and so over time the gel completely liquefies, and so I would not recommend using salt to make the flame visible. To put the flame out, we simply put the lid back on. Now, a second problem with these canisters is that they can get very warm because the flame is right in contact with the upper metal, and the metal itself, of course, heats up, and so the whole can get quite warm. And for that reason, students must be very careful not to handle them immediately after the canisters are put out. So a good source of heat, but you must be careful with using them. For teacher demonstrations, a propane torch is really useful. And what I've done with my propane torch here is actually made a wire stand for it. So I just took some fairly heavy wire and shaped it so that it fits over the neck of the tank. And so it holds the burner in place, and then I can control the flow of gas with the valve on the burner. It's great for heating a beaker of water up rapidly, or you can also use it for working with glass, as we'll see later on. This is a great source of heat then for teacher demonstrations. Another source of heat that would be convenient to have in a lab is simply an electric hot plate. And again, many of these are available for home use and can be used then also for the elementary science lab. And it's handy just to heat up some water in a beaker on a hot plate.